Welcome to an episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. Your host here, Cameron Lindsay. This is episode 71. Today episode, we're going to be talking about the final college football playoff rankings that were released this past weekend, Sunday. 12 teams go as first. I'm going to go with the 4 teams that have a bye. Number 1 is Oregon, the Big Ten champion. They defeated Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. Number 2 seed is Georgia. They defeated Texas. They're the SEC champion. They defeated Texas in the SEC championship game. Number 3 is Boise State, the highest Mountain West champion, the highest ranked Group of 5 champion. They defeated UNLV in the Mountain West championship game. And the 4th seed is Arizona State, the Big 12 champion, defeated Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. So these 4 teams get a bye. Oregon will play the winner of the 9 and 8 seed. Georgia will play the winner of the 10th, 7th seed. Boise State will play the winner of the 11th or 6th seed. And Arizona State will play the winner of the 12th and 5th seed. Now let's get into the first round matchups for the rest of the schools. First up, number 12, Clemson, 10-3, ACC champion. They won the ACC championship over SMU, 34-31. So they automatically get into the playoff. They don't get a first round bye. I'll get into that soon. But they will play number 5, Texas, who's lost in the ACC championship game to Georgia. They're 11-2. They will host a playoff game in Austin, Texas, against number 12, Clemson. Number 9, Tennessee, finished the season 10-2. They didn't make it to the SEC championship game, but they had a phenomenal season. They will go on the road to play the Ohio State Buckeyes, which is the number 8 seed, 10-2. They lost to Michigan the last game of the season at home. But they still get into the playoff and will host Tennessee at home in the first round. Next up, got the number 11 seed SMU, 11-2, made it to the ACC championship game, lost on the last second field goal to Clemson. They will go on the road to play number 6 Penn State in the first round in Happy Valley. Penn State, 11-2, also made it to their conference championship game in the Big Ten championship game, lost to Oregon. They're 11-2, will host SMU. Next up, we got number 10, Indiana, 11-1. Didn't make it to the Big Ten championship game. Their only loss this season was to Ohio State on the road. They will travel to Notre Dame, number 7 Notre Dame, to play the Fighting Irish on the road. They finished 11-1. Only loss was to Northern Illinois early in the season. But my thoughts, and the first 2 teams out are Alabama and Miami. My thoughts when I seen this, was, I like it. I have no problem with it. I think Oregon is number 1. They're 13-0. They were the most consistent team all season. Maybe not the most perfect at all. Don't get me wrong. They're not perfect at all because they struggled in the beginning of the season against Idaho State at home. They struggled against Boise State, which Boise State is a good team. So that's not a knock on Oregon at all. But they ended up rolling. They beat Ohio State at home by 1. They went to Michigan, crushed them, and beat Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. So Oregon definitely deserves to be the number 1 seed. I don't see who else should be over them. I don't care what nobody say. Dylan Gabriel has been looking phenomenal. He's a Heisman Trophy finalist, which I'll get into that. Oregon can run the ball. The defense is pretty solid now. They did struggle in the Big Ten championship game on defense, stopping Penn State the run, but Penn State's a good team, so that's not a knock on Oregon, but I think Oregon definitely deserves to be the number 1 seed. Number 2, Georgia, SEC champion. I have no problem with that. Now, it's been related that Carson Beck probably will miss the second round in the Sugar Bowl. I don't know if he'll be available because he did get hurt at the end of the first half in the SEC championship game against Texas. So it's been reported that he may not play. And their backup quarterback might have to, so I'm a little worried there. I know he did come in and gave Georgia a spark, but he did throw an interception. I think he only had maybe 49, 50 passing yards. So did Carson Beck, but I think the only way Georgia may can survive without Carson Beck until he gets back is maybe running the ball. They did run the ball pretty solid against Texas. So that may be their biggest hope is to run the ball. So I have no problem with Georgia number 2. Number 3, Boise State. I know some people may have a problem with that, saying that Arizona State should be higher than Boise State or maybe Clemson. But Boise State's a really good team, led by Heisman Trophy finalist Ashton Genty. So don't underestimate this. Don't underestimate this Boise State Broncos defense. They're very solid. They like I said, I think they were second in the Mountain West in total defense. So they can get after the quarterback. The starting quarterback also is pretty solid. So I have no problem with Boise State being number 3. I thought they'd probably be 4th, but I have no problem with 3. Arizona State at 4, Big 12 champion. I have no problem with that. I did predict Arizona State to beat Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. Main reason to do that was Cam Scatterboo, running back for Arizona State. Like I said, I have no problem with that order. And then number 5, Texas. I think that's fine. Now, the only problem, number 6, Penn State, that's fine. 7, Notre Dame. Like I said, 8, Ohio State. 9, Tennessee. 10, Indiana. 11, SMU. And 12, Clemson. The only problem I have is how is SMU ranked higher than, even though it's only by 1. But, I mean, either way, both teams going to have to play on the road. So it don't really matter. So, but other than that, I'm with the college football committee. I think SMU deserves to be in over Alabama. And if you pay attention, if you go on my sports podcast page on Instagram at Cameron Sports Podcast, I said the reason Alabama's not in because they're simply not a playoff team. You cannot lose to Vanderbilt early in the season. You beat Georgia, then you was ranked the number 1 team in the country. The next week, you go to Vanderbilt and lose to Vanderbilt. Don't get me wrong. Vanderbilt's a little bit better than we thought, but they're 6-6. That's Vanderbilt. You can't beat the number 1 team in the nation and lose to Vanderbilt, even on the road. Like, that's unacceptable. Now, okay, cool. That would have been their only loss, and they beat Oklahoma. Alabama would be in over SMU. We all know that. But you can't turn around and also have another bad loss late in the season to Oklahoma, 24-3. It's not like it was 24-21. No, it was 24-3. They put up 3 points on offense. 3. No touchdowns, 3. Jalen Milroe had multiple interceptions. He was under pressure. The offensive line was bad. So there's no way Alabama's a playoff team. Like, you can't, there's literally, I know they got a 3-1 record against top 25 teams. Yes, Alabama beat South Carolina. They beat Georgia. They beat Missouri. But you can't turn around and lose to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. You can't do that. You don't deserve to be in. And I know some people saying, I see people on like Paul Farnbaugh or Stephen A. saying Bama is better than SMU. Possibly, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. The way Alabama has been looking, I'm not completely sure. This ain't the same Alabama team with Nick Saban. So let's hold our horses on that. Like I said, I just don't think this Alabama team and their own defense are not as scary as they used to be. They got a few good players, but like Malachi Moore. But this Alabama defense don't scare anybody. They're not the same because Nick Saban was a defensive-minded coach, and Kalen DeBoer, he's an offensive-minded coach, so he's gonna be with the quarterbacks. He's not gonna be with the DBs like Nick Saban was. So for people saying like, why ain't Alabama in? That you mad? If you're an Alabama fan, do you really think y'all deserve to be in? Do you really think y'all have a shot to win? Alabama's not better than Oregon. Georgia, but I don't know. Well, without Carson Beck, I'll say that, But Clemson, I don't know. Tennessee, obviously, they're not better than Tennessee because Tennessee beat Alabama. Notre Dame, I'm not sure they'll beat Notre Dame. Ohio State, not sure. I'll say only SMU, Indiana, and maybe Clemson in the first round. Those first round teams, they may beat. But I just don't think they deserve to be in. Like I said, you can't lose to 6-6 Vanderbilt early in the season. You can't lose to 6-6 Oklahoma, 24-3. Now, Miami being out, I'm not even going to argue too much. Miami's overrated. Their defense is horrible. They relied too much on Cam Ward. They got lucky multiple times during the season. Virginia Tech, Louisville, they got lucky too many times. They depended too much on Cam Ward. And that luck ran out when they lost to Georgia Tech for the second year in a row. This time on the road, and Cam Ward didn't have his best game, but I think that loss is more, this season is more on Mario Cristobal because you started the season off 10 10-0, 9-0, 10-0, and then 9-0, and then you just fumble. You don't even make it to the ACC championship game. If you watch my episodes early in the season, I said I think Miami's gonna win the ACC championship game. I'm here to apologize to all my viewers who are watching. I was wrong. I could admit when I'm wrong. I thought Miami would win the ACC, but they didn't even make it to the ACC championship game at all. But I love Cam Ward. He's going to be a first-round pick, possibly a first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. It's just that Miami team was horrible on defense, and they relied too much on him. But like I said, those are my thoughts on the final college football rankings. Like I said, again, I have no problem with Oregon being number 1, Georgia 2, Boise State 3, Arizona State 4, Texas 5, Penn State 6, Notre Dame 7, Ohio State 8, Tennessee 9, Indiana 10, SMU 11, Clemson 12. Like I said, I just don't. Alabama's just not a playoff team, and if you think they are, you're a casual fan. I'm sorry, I just can't respect that too much. Like, I watch the game too much and love this game too much, love sports journalism, love football too much to sit there and I'm watching and I'm like, this Alabama team is not a playoff team at all. So, but yeah, I'm not going to give my predictions for the first round games yet. I'm going to wait till, because the first round starts next weekend. So I'm going to wait till next week to get my predictions on that. But I do got one more thing to talk about. The Heisman Trophy finalists were announced also Monday. Quarterback Cam Ward out of Miami is a finalist. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback out of Oregon, is a finalist. Ashton Jeanty, running back out of Boise State, is a finalist. And Travis Hunter, wide receiver / corner for Colorado, is the 4th finalist. Those are your 4 finalists for the 2024 Heisman Trophy. All these young men have had a very, very great season. Like I said, I think they got them all right for the 5 finalists. My vote, I think, is between Ashton Jeanty, and running back out of Boise State, and Travis Hunter, wide receiver, corner out of Colorado. My vote will go towards Travis, mainly because what he did on both sides of the ball. Over 1,000 receiving yards at Colorado, over double-digit touchdowns. He, like I said, he finished receiving yards, 1,152 receiving yards, which was 2nd in the Big 12. He had 92 catches. He led the country with 21 receiving plays, 20 yards or more. He twice had 3 touchdown receptions in the game, had 10 or more catches in the game 3 times, and had 100 or more receiving yards in the game 7 times. Also, he had at least 3 interceptions, multiple batted passes. So there's no, I wouldn't be mad if it goes to Ashton Jeanty, but Travis Hunter is clearly the best football player in college football, and the Heisman Trophy should go to the best player, not quarterback. Best player. Now, sometimes the quarterback is the best player in college football. Sometimes that happened. Last year, it was Caleb Williams. Last year was Jaden Daniels, quarterback at LSU, now with the Washington Commanders. So Travis Hunter is clearly the best player. He's arguably going to be the number 1 overall pick. Him, Cam Ward, or Shedeur Sanders. So if I could vote, I hope one day I can vote for this. But my vote is Travis Hunter. Look what he did on both sides of the ball. Don't get me wrong, Ashton Jeanty definitely deserves it. But we've seen running backs rush for 2,000 yards before. Barry Sanders. He averages over 30-something carries a game. Travis Hunter hardly comes out of the ball game. So that's what my vote would be. Let me know in the comments who your vote is for the Heisman Trophy. The ceremony, I think, is this weekend. So I'm definitely going to be watching. I appreciate each one of y'all tuning in for another episode of Karen Sports Podcast. Make sure to follow me on all social medias. It'll be in my description. Yeah, I'll see y'all next week for my predictions for the first round of the 2024 College Football Playoff. Thank you.